Hello, everyone. My name is Sabrina Achampong. I am a sophomore here at Berea College. I am majoring in business administration and I love to dance. And I'm going to pass it to the interviewees for today to introduce themselves.
I'm Gail Buchanan.
I'm Don.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Well, we came to Berea College a long, long time ago. We came here and I graduated first. Don changed his major a couple of times. And I started teaching here in Berea. And we were always going to go back home to West Virginia. But he had to go to the Army and several things interrupted our plans. So we stayed in Berea and we've been here. We will be married 65 years this year. And we've lived here that entire time.
Wow. Would you like to add anything onto that, Dawn?
She said, did you want to add anything?
No, except maybe my father was here in 31 and 32. And he sent me down and to my last year at the foundation school so I could get into college. And like Gail says, we're still here.
Awesome. That is so good to hear. So have you been in Berea your entire lives?
No, when we came to Berea, we have kind of a funny story. My family moved into the town where Don lived in West Virginia. And my father's job was interrupted with a fire. So he was laid off and he told me he didn't think he could send me back to college. So I was telling Don about it. I met him and he said, why don't you come to Berea? And I said, where in the world is Berea? So 65 years later, I know where Berea is.
Wow, I'm glad to see we have the same reaction because when someone told me about Berea, I had never heard about Berea ever before. And now we're here in Kentucky and it's a beautiful place.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Can you tell me any joke that makes you smile?
Yeah. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
Because she was a teenager and all the boy chickens were on the other side.
Oh my gosh, that's a good one. Okay, well, I'm going to ask a few questions about Berea Home Village. And so I'll start off by asking, how has Berea Home Village helped you?
Well, when Don and I joined Berea Home Village, he had a procedure with his eyes and he was blind completely. And I had already stopped driving. This was about 2.5, 3 years ago. So it was disastrous for us. We needed somebody to step in and take us to the doctor's appointments, to take us to get groceries, to take us to all the things that we needed to go to. And you don't feel comfortable asking your friends over and over and over. So knowing that Berea Home Village was available to us was really a godsend.
I'm so glad to hear that. And how long have you been with Berea Home Village?
About 2.5 years.
Awesome. Okay, so why did you join Berea Home Village in the first place?
Because we needed them badly. We didn't know the pandemic was coming, but we were already in a pandemic because we couldn't go outside. Neither of us could drive. And there weren't any, everywhere we lived, there was the church that we went to. Other than that, there was no grocery stores, there was no post office, there was a bank, but no doctors. We just needed somebody to get us to those places.
Okay, and overall, how would you say that COVID-19 had affected you in your lives?
Probably not as much as it affected a lot of other people because we were already retired. And so we were comfortable staying at home. But just the idea of not being able to do those things, if you really want to go shopping and you can't, then it bothers you. So we were isolated, but we have good friends that we talked on the phone with. We have children that we talked on the phone with, grandchildren. So those things helped.
That is good to hear. That actually segues into my next question. Have you been able to see your family or your grandchildren?
Yes, we have a grandson who is in Florida with a company known as Brown and Brown. It is an insurance investment, and he is working for them in Daytona Beach. And we have another grandson in Lexington, and we see him not as much as we see the other. And then we have a younger grandson who graduated from high school last year. So we've been able to visit back and forth with them, and it was good.
And it was good. Wow, you both are very fortunate. What is a lesson in life that you wish to share with young people?
A lesson in life that you wish to share with young people.
I heard her. I'd like to repeat something I learned in the Army. I was on the KP one night at the mess hall at Fort Knox with a little All-American football player from Pennsylvania. And we got to talking, and he said that he gave me the philosophy of an old Greek gentleman. And then in that, he says that don't try to live beyond your means. Don't envy anyone for anything. And everywhere you go, make as many friends as you can. And whatever you do, do the best. And he became such a good friend that he came home with me once, but I lost him just on the way.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. I really believe that I can learn from just the words of wisdom in which you share. And so my next question would be, do you have any regrets in life, or do you wish that you would have done anything differently in your lifetime?
Well, we always have a few regrets, I think. We always think, I wish I had done that, or I wish I had done this. I taught school. I had a lot of students. I think I helped 98% of them. I regret that I didn't help the other 2%. But you can't help somebody if they don't want you to.
Understood. Thank you. Don, would you like to add a contribution?
I'd like to add I forgot one of the things that my buddy gave me at Fort Knox. He said that attended church of your choice regularly. And I always thought that was a good philosophy. And he told me it was from an old Greek gentleman. And he later became the athletic director at Florida State University, which I thought was real well.
Wow. I second that. Or let me say, I third that. I do believe that church regularly is a great thing. So thank you for answering that. My next question is, what was your first job?
Now, this is the first job after we got out of college, or the first job?
Your first job ever.
First job ever. I worked in a department store, but in the summers and when I was home on vacation. What did you do?
My early jobs was, I had a paper route and I mowed several yards. That got me started.
It's really interesting. And so I know that we live in different times now where everything is dominated by technology and just many things altogether. So, which invention from your lifetime are you most amazed by?
The cell phone.
Yeah.
Which one were you most amazed about?
That's a hard one.
Space, technology?
Cars.
No, you had cars when you were young.
How are they different, how they were then compared to how they are now? Cell phones and cars.
Oh, well, there were no cell phones. You know, when we had always had a phone that hooked into the wall. And that was as far as you could go, as far as that. And if you wanted to go in your bedroom and shut the door, the phone wouldn't reach that far. So everybody heard your conversation. I think then we had the regular phone that had the base, you know, but the cell phone, to be able to have that cell phone and have nothing attached and nothing where it is has to sit, you know, it's just to me amazing. I mean, I know man went to the moon. I know that, and that was a big thing. But not everybody was able to accompany him to the moon. Everybody can have a cell phone. So,
Wow, I'm glad to see that there has been much improvement and just much advancement within technology. So, with Berea Home Village, are there any equipment or just technology that they use that you all like?
yes, we like everything they do. We like the fact that they are there for us when we need them. And we like to get together with them when we're able. And it's a blessing. And I talk about them everywhere I go. And you would be surprised how many people in Kentucky do not have this organization in their town. And they want to know how they can do it, how they can get a hold of somebody to tell them about it. So I try to give them all the information that I know.
I'm glad. They should put you on a marketing team. That's amazing. So, can you tell me one thing you love about the volunteers?
Oh, the volunteers are great. They're always helpful. They're always smiling. And we have conversation from the time we shut the door and start till we get to where we're going and on the way back. And if we don't know them, if it's a new person, we break them in real quick. You know, we ask them where they're from and how many children they've got, and we exchange. We know their statistics and they know ours, and it's more an extension of a family or a close friend. We've never had a bad experience, never.
Wow. So you would give them 5 stars?
Definitely.
Awesome. Wow. Well, so this interview is for people who are interested in joining Berea Home Village. So what is something you would tell them if someone was looking into joining?
I would tell them how to go about it. I would tell them who to call. I would give them the number. I would tell them that as far as Don and I are concerned, they saved our life because he was blind for 3 months completely. He has some sight now, but he would not have been able at all to have gotten around. So I would give them all the information that I could, and I don't have anything negative to say. So it's all positive.
Awesome. And so that leads me into my last question. Do you have any special messages for the workers of Berea Home Village?
God bless you. We appreciate what you do. We know that it cuts into your time. And we just think that it's putting another, as my church says, another jewel in your crown.
Beautiful. Would you like to add on to that, Don?
I agree 100%. You know, I've always said the two things we take for granted is to stand up and walk and to sit down and read. If you take either one of them, you're in bad shape. We sure do appreciate what they've done for us.
Awesome. Well, we thank you both for answering these questions. Thank you for giving your honest feedback and opinions about Berea Home Village. And I believe everyone who comes across this video will have support in knowing that Berea Home Village is the place to go. So thank you, the Buchanans. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to wave at the camera?